Hello and welcome to day 3 of my speedrun. Well, it's not exactly just day 3 because, to be honest, I've attempted this day in particular more times than I care to admit. And by that I mean I lost count. Seriously, this was so hard. At one point I end up resorting to using a bug, which I'm not proud of, but if I hadn't used it I would not have been able to complete this map. I like to say that this is my run, or my attempt, that is. There are probably people out there who could do it much better. There's no doubt about that. And there are some flaws going on. But as I said, I tried this map so many times that in the end I got fed up and figured this is good enough. So this is my run. Not much going on early. All you really can do is get all the yellow Pikmin in the area. I've seen online that some people do use a bug or glitch to access the upper area where you get to the shaggy long legs. Using just Brittany here and the yellow Pikmin you have access to now. And since the in-game timer hasn't started yet, you basically have infinite amount of time to defeat the shaggy long legs. I didn't resort to that, however. I should mention that I did try to leave all the yellow Pikmin in the ground for a amount of time to see if they would bloom into, well, buds or flowers eventually. But seeing as time doesn't pass as normally in this area, yet, that is, nothing happens. I think I left the game on for like half an hour and they all stayed as leaves. Now, when I first get access to the real map, it's when things get real difficult. The first thing I did was send Brittany using the gamepad to the electric fence with all the yellow Pikmin, switch to Alf, move to the onion, and then I took out 25 red Pikmin and 10 rock Pikmin. These will be used for Alf's side for now. I threw one Pikmin to get the cherry on top of the snowman, but I missed, of course, because I'm stupid. Then I try again, which wasted time. Meanwhile, all the Pikmin I took out digs a hole into the tunnel. After that I take out 40 rock Pikmin. I should mention that I had actually to go back to day 2 and redo it a few times to get a bunch of the extra mobs standing about as rock Pikmin, to get more rock Pikmin for this level, because I found it almost impossible to do it with the 22 rock Pikmin I started out with. When everything was done, I had about 54 rock Pikmin. As for this place, I sent about 10 rock Pikmin, just from down this edge, and they'll keep running back for more bridge pieces. They'll just keep building their bridge by themselves. Don't worry about the mobs down there, because rock Pikmin are immune to them. They just keep doing their job. And here I accidentally keep throwing rock Pikmin into the water, which was incredibly stupid, but oh well. See how they keep gliding off? That was annoying. Now I had 30 rock Pikmin with Brittany, after which I took care of this flame because it's sort of in the way. Quickly throw all of the yellow Pikmin back to Alf. He's gonna need them. And there I threw one too many, but it didn't matter. I had enough. Here I used the gamepad to send Brittany to the next area, while I send Alf to dig the hole. Then I hurry back with Brittany. When attempting the speedrun, I found that you have to use the gamepad all the time and use the go here function to have the captains running where you need them to be. Also, I think I accidentally left a yellow Pikmin over at the river, but I didn't have time to go back for him. Send all the yellows to work on the electric fence, and then gather up all the rest of the Pikmin you have on this side, which should be standing around there, and throw them on the glass wall, rock Pikmin that is. After which they'll keep on working on getting the wall down. Switch back to Brittany and get this thing down. Let's keep stunning it by hitting in the eyes before it eats any Pikmin. Once it's dead, just send all the Pikmin to get the bridge pieces. Here I throw a few rock Pikmin on the mob. I was hoping that it would eventually just get it down by themselves. And then I switch back to Alf, where his rock Pikmin just got the wall down. Bombard the lava slugs with Pikmin. Here I throw 3 rock Pikmin to get the strawberry, because there's a Joust Knight along the way they're gonna head back. So if I used anything else, they just die. You need the rock Pikmin for that. They don't always make it all the way, because the Joust Knight sometimes knocks the Pikmin out of their path and they don't keep carrying the strawberry. Here I throw a few red Pikmin to take care of the mob there. Gather up all I have and send them to collect the bridge pieces. If everything has gone alright, that should be the last heap of bridge pieces. And right now I'm focusing on trying to get these mobs down, because they're gonna be in the way. They must die. Here he just threw a signal rock Pikmin up to get the sherry, and then I send her with the go here function to get all the rock Pikmin left on the other side, which are hopefully done with the bridge by this point, or at least their part of the bridge. And now I gather up all the Pikmin on this side. And the bridge is done! However, if I had done things better, I could have had all the Pikmin on this side ready at this point. But now I have to actually go back and get all of them again. See what I'm doing here? I'm wasting time! I'm serious, when you're trying to speedrun, several times it came down to just seconds. And I keep doing this mistake over and over again. I just keep doing this stupid, really slow things. And then I noticed that I had a bunch of other Pikmin standing off by the side. So I switched back to Brittany and tore through this wall for some reason. I figured it'd go faster. And here's another trick you can do to speed things up for the future. Throw 3 Pikmin at the stick, have them climb up, lock on to the dapper, whatever it was, the fruits, and then charge it while they're standing up there, and they'll pick it up and carry it down. It's sadly unlikely that they will manage to carry it all the way, because the Joust might always, for me at least, manage to interrupt them and knock them out of the path. So they stopped carrying it and just sat there for the rest of the time. Once you see them carrying the fruit down, you can just bring him into the squad again. Once you manage to gather all the Pikmin on the right side of the map again, have Brittany walk back to the President's face. To speed things up, if you can, throw about 20 rock Pikmin up, or just any Pikmin, because you're gonna need them to push down the boulder, that is. And here I try to finish this thing up before Alpha Rise with the rest of the Pikmin. And here he is. See, if I had been faster, go in here, throw a few Pikmin to get that fruit down. If I'd been faster, I could have already thrown all the 20 Pikmin up there. But since I've already done a bunch of mistakes, everything gets slowed down. Gather up all the stray Pikmin you have lying about. And then I decided to send the rock Pikmin to carry the fruit back, since I had most rock Pikmin with me at the time. Once inside with all your Pikmin, ignore the lava slugs, head straight for the light, and throw the yellow Pikmin to get the light bulb going. Normally you'd think that you have to use 2 captains to reach the orange up here, but you can actually just ignore throwing the captain up and just throw the Pikmin right up instead. 5 Pikmin should do it, and they'll carry it all the way back to the base again. Use the rocks to get the path cleared. Rocks are annoying because they keep... when you throw them, they have a sort of a downtime before you can whistle them in again. So now I accidentally left our rock Pikmin behind because he refused to get into the squad again. Throw the yellows here to get the light going. Nothing special about that. Cutscene, and then I throw 8 rock Pikmin to the sticks. They'll build it and climb up to the grapes lying up there and carry it back to the base. I should have ever used 10. That was my intention, but I can't count for my life, so ended up only being 8. It ended up costing me in the future, but as I said, this one is good enough. And this is where the bug I talked about, or the glitch I talked about earlier, gets into play. Just throw all your yellow Pikmin up there to the ledge, or at least 20 of them. Then to make things easier, I dismiss all of them here. Just make sure they're standing inside the lights, so the boss won't get to them. And then you attempt to throw the second captain up to the rocks up here. Except I failed the first time. The boss is getting in the way as well. It takes a few tries, but there I got it. You just walk with the captain and throw the yellow Pikmin up. This will instantly take you to the last stage of the boss fight. I'm not proud that I had to do this, but I could not for my life complete this day without doing this, using this bug. So I'm sorry, but I gave up. I gave up trying to do this normally. As for the boss fight itself, well, just throw Pikmin at him. That's all I can tell you. Oh, and whistle whenever he poisons them. Oh, right. Don't worry about any stray Pikmin that end up standing about in this area. Once you kill the boss, all the Pikmin in this specific area will become part of your squad again. So don't worry about losing any in this area in particular. See, here, again, I have precious little time left to do the things I need to do, and I start wasting time by specifically throwing just the amount of Pikmin I want. I should have just divided up the squad by dismissing him, and hope that the rock can get him. Because yes, I wanted the rock Pikmin to carry the boss corpse back to get their numbers up. Now we have all 3 captains. So that gives us access to one of the more difficult areas to get to. Just remember to get this Joust Might, because it's gonna get in the way for your Pikmin carrying back things to the base. There's the strawberry left behind. And the other Joust Might down there, which I believe some of my Pikmin earlier in the day took care of. As for the Dodge Whistle, just throw 10 Pikmin over to it. And then throw the rest of your Pikmin down to the left of the mushroom. If you throw them to the right of the mushroom, you're just gonna stand there idle, and when the Pikmin carrying the Dodge Whistle walks by, the one standing idle are just gonna help carrying it, which is annoying. And at this point, divide up your rock Pikmin and make sure you have at least 20 Pikmin to carry the grapes, because grapes come in groups of 20, so if you have 20 Pikmin, you can just carry them all right away, like so. And here, throw your rock Pikmin and the third captain. Make sure you have at least 5 rock Pikmin. I think you have the option of either building the bridge here or doing what I'm about to do. The bridge could be one option because it'll let you get to the orange and this area later on easier. But it's just that this area, with the snowballs rolling down, feels so much harder because you have to play as the captain and take your time getting up there. Which is why it feels harder to do than normally. So that's why I chose to do that. At this point, just make sure you gather up all the Pikmin you have. Unless they're doing something special. See, the countdown started here. What I just wanted to do here was get this thing free and have them carry it back. Sadly, there's no time to carry it back all the way. So what I ended up just doing was carrying back far enough, so I think I can just reach it easy, just by throwing Pikmin normally, rather than climbing up all the way around and then using rock Pikmin to break it free from the crystal. And here I make a last stretch panic to get any Pikmin standing about. Sadly, I did lose a few Pikmin that were lost every now and then. I think I lost 3 Pikmin that were standing around in random places. And then I lost 8 Pikmin that were running back and forth to the first grapes. If I'd been faster getting to that area, I could have reached them with Charlie, but I failed in that. However, as I said, this was, given everything that I accomplished so far, and how much time I spent trying to do this, I just decided this is good enough. It could have been done without losing any Pikmin at all. I could have gotten a few more fruits, getting all the grapes from the purple grapes and getting the lime, and possibly that Dapper Blob, I think it's called. However, I did get it down from the ledge, which makes it easier to get to the next time, which was good enough. I have to say that the first day of every new area is probably the hardest one. Because you have to build all the bridges, you have to break down all the walls. When you later return in the future, I can imagine it being much easier because everything is just accessible right from the start. And you don't have to worry about the bosses. This is me comparing a 7-day run or a 10-day run. Hopefully I can manage to do a 10-day run, but we'll see. Right here I'm just observing the gamepad and the replay to see what happened with all the Pikmin that died, or where the ones that died were, and such. I spent a few minutes doing so I'm skipping ahead here. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, anything, please. I'm begging you, please. Thank you. Beep boop.